Okay, we are live. I just noticed that Luke had dropped out, but he's dropped back in. Lovely stuff. Yeah, we are live, guys. I'm just going to make sure I press one button. There we go. And we are back with another podcast. The Indie Games podcast making its return. This time we'll be doing a bit of a shorter show, though. We're going to actually be doing that a bit more going forward, just to let you know, guys, as a bit of an update. We're going to be reducing down the show format, maybe hopefully increasing the frequency of the shows, but like doing more shorter, concise shows. But yeah, thank you so much everyone who is joining us for the Indie Games podcast. This one is going to be dedicated to the Annapurna Showcase, which happened very recently, and we're going to do a bit of a roundup, a wrap up, whatever you want to call it, highlights. We're going to talk about our best games that were shown at the Annapurna Showcase that happened recently. Annapurna, the amazing publisher that they are. So I'm looking forward to this one. But firstly, I just want to say hi to my, co-host, the legend that is Scott. How are you doing, brother?
I'm good, Indy. Thank you very much. It appears we gained a loop, and now we've lost a loop.
We keep gaining a loop. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm back. Don't ignore me. Mic trouble. I'm here.
It's teasing us.
I'm here. Yeah, there we go.
It's live. You can't predict these things, can you?
Exactly.
But, Indy, I'm good, mate. I'm good. Thank you very much. A little sneak peek for people. Obviously, this is just the second time this weekend we've been catching up. So
yeah,
keep an eye out on the channel for that. But looking forward to chatting with you fine gentlemen this evening.
Awesome, buddy. Yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun this weekend doing some content with you. Like Scott says, keep an eye out on the channel for another video coming soon with both of us in it. Ooh. But yeah, thanks for being here tonight, my friend. It's great to be back doing the podcast. Looking forward to this. And we weren't expecting this. He said he was on a little break, a little holiday break, weekend break with friends, but he has graced us with his presence. What an honor. Luke is able to join us at the last minute. How are you doing, my friend?
Yeah, I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, I sort of wrapped up earlier than I expected, and then I was like, oh, I have the chance to jump in and talk about the Annapurna show, which was a really cool show, and there was a lot of stuff that I really liked in particular. So
awesome!
It's going to be cool to talk about it.
Definitely.
I can't wait to disappoint Luke a little bit later in the show.
No, I think I know but I'm not going to be pleased by this.
We'll save it, but yeah.
Okay. I'm intrigued, but I'm not actually sure what you're 100% referring to there. So I'll find out for myself, maybe.
So stay tuned.
Yeah, we'll keep that one secret. Lovely stuff. But yeah, I'm so glad you could join us, my friend, as I know you love Annapurna. We all do. And yeah, they put on a good show. So I'm looking forward to chatting about it. And thank you so much to everyone who's joining us in the chat. Great to see some awesome names coming through. One name especially, big shout out to Meisuko, because it's been a little bit quiet around here without the legend that is Meisuko. I know he was on a long holiday, so it's great to see you back in, my friend. Thank you so much for coming back by. I know you've been checking out the content that you missed a bit, so I really appreciate that. And it's just awesome to see you back in, Meisuko. So the boss mod that you are, I was told there is some way of actually assigning a boss mod thing in here, so I'll have to look into that. We'll give it to you if there is. But yeah, thanks for being here. Shout out to some awesome legends that are here. Like I say, Meisuko, Stubbs Gaming, Thimba, Rescue Squad Culp, and who else? We have Paul S, and someone subscribed a second ago. I don't know who it was. I heard the noise. So whoever just subscribed, thank you so much. You're a legend. And Paul S is in the house as well. But thank you so much for joining us, guys. Like I say, it's going to be a shorter show. It's going to be an hour long, dedicated just to the Annapurna Showcase. So I think probably out fear of me not timing this correctly, we should probably just get straight into the Annapurna Showcase. Would you reckon that would be an advisable thing to do, guys? You advise me on this one. Shall we get tucking into some Annapurna, or do you want to have a little catch up and talk about some games first? What do you reckon?
We can maybe chat about a game or two.
Yeah, let's do that.
Just to warm us up.
Because you know what I'm like if I go off on one. So I'm glad you can advise me on that. Thank you. Let's have a little one then. Okay, Scott, my friend, what have you been up to? We've been playing lately. Anything juicy? I know you got your Steam Deck, so actually I know one game.
Indeed, man. Yeah, so my juicy Steam Deck. That's weird.
It's a little bit weird. That was a return
so
one.
I've been playing that. For those who follow me on Twitter, you might have seen I've recently completed Dredge, which I was looking forward to for some time. But it was a game that I really thought would be great to play on the Steam Deck. So I played that, really enjoyed it. Would highly recommend people check that out. And then Indy, just for you. I've started Hollow Knight, as you know, mate. I'm a couple of hours in now. I haven't quite got the dash that we talked about last night, but I am in the area you were referring to.
Really?
I played a little bit more ahead of the show today.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's what's been keeping me busy. Loving the Steam Deck. It's a great device. Everything I want from a handheld. As someone who despises the Switch as a handheld device, really enjoying the Steam Deck at the moment.
Well, that's awesome, bro. That's fantastic. And yeah, to hear you're playing Hollow Knight, wow, you know, I'm just going to make me happy. Yeah. We had a little chat about it. So yeah, you must be in Green Path then, like you say. So
yes,
exciting. And that's, it's just amazing. Definitely hit me up as many times as you want if you want to chat any Hollow Knight in the DMs and all that sort of thing. You know, I'd always like to hear about it.
I will do.
Yeah, I remember chatting about it with VJ when he was just exploring it. It's just, you know, it's just an amazing game to sort of share about as you sort of discover its charms. It's, no pun intended. But yeah, awesome to hear you're playing that, and awesome to hear you're enjoying the Steam Deck. Yeah, we're all Steam Decked up now, aren't we? Actually, I don't know if Judsy's got it, but
we'll get him. Don't worry.
Excellent stuff. But yeah, great to hear you having some good times going. Luke, my friend, have you been having much time gaming lately? I know you've been having a bit of a chill this weekend, but have you played much lately?
Yeah, I've been. It's been really busy the last few weeks, so I haven't had a chance to play as much as I might have liked. But I've been playing quite a bit of stuff, actually, quite varied. Also been playing on the Steam Deck. So I think the two main things on that one is Warhammer Bolt Gun, which I've been dipping into every now and then, which is just a load of fun. Just really love that game. It's kind of a game that you can just kind of switch off, you know, the brain a bit and just enjoy the sensory feedback that you get from shooting things. And it's got a great art style as well, which is really cool. And then I also was playing the Viewfinder demo, which I think's really incredible. Actually, I was really blown away by, well, first of all, how good it looks and how well it runs on the Steam Deck. It's like a locked 60 FPS, and it's just a really nice looking game. So that's really good. And I mean, the creativity in that game is just insane.
Absolutely.
Like it's such a clever concept that's executed so well.
Definite. Yeah, it's very clever, isn't it? Yeah, the whole sort of
really good.
It. Yeah, and the photography aspect's pretty cool, isn't it? And that.
Yes, very cool, and kind of, you know, they kind of started off very simplistic in the demo, and then they kind of layer another mechanic in there, and then another one, and it becomes not complicated by any means, but just so kind of surreal how stuff works. You know, you go from kind of just taking pictures and moving into monochrome environments to, by the end of the demo, it's, you know, they've created separate environments of like, you know, kind of 3D paper book drawings, and all these kind of cartoony inspired little elements that you can just seamlessly walk into. It's just very, very clever. I'm really looking forward to the final, you know, the release. And I was, you know, it wasn't really on my radar. I'd seen it and thought it looked really cool.
Yeah.
But it wasn't something that I was like, I really can't wait for that game to come out.
I hadn't really heard you talk about it. Yeah, that's great to hear. Nice. Yeah, it's Thunderful publishing it, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So,
cool.
And that's the power of Steam Next Fest, really, isn't it? That
that's
you can
true.
kind of pick up these demos, and then you're interested in a game you might never have actually picked up for your own volition. So that was awesome.
Definitely. Oh, that's awesome to hear. Yeah, that's not that far away from release. It's got a release date, hasn't it? I think. That I can't quite remember.
July.
I'm not sure when it is.
July 18th or something.
Is
like
it?
That.
Oh,
it's pretty close. Yeah.
No, that's soon.
Yeah, it's funny. Like you mentioned, I haven't played the demo, but it's a game that we've seen, and it didn't really catch my eye too much. But then I saw a YouTube short from Giant Bomb.
Yeah, I watched
Jeff
that
Grubb
as well.
playing it.
Nice.
And that actually, that one shot actually sold me on the game. It actually just having Jeff, I think, explain it to Dan. I kind of show it to Dan, and Dan's mind just sort of
they're all
slowly
kind of
slip
away,
away.
aren't they?
Kind of sold me on it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
So yeah, I've been playing that, and apart from that, I've been delving into my usual diet of high quality AAA games, which is a bit of a taboo around here.
All that dirty food equivalent.
That dirty junk food.
Yeah, exactly.
We have in between the healthy indie snacks.
Exactly.
Everyone eats a kebab sometimes.
It's just kebabs all day at the minute. I've been
cool.
not too many of them, but I have been playing Final Fantasy 16, which I'm really enjoying.
Nice.
I recently played the Pikmin 4 demo as well, which I just absolutely loved. Really love Pikmin, but that's a really cool game. So that's been about it.
Sounds good, buddy. Yeah, some great stuff in there. It's funny, the old Steam Next Fest, I didn't really get as much time to tuck into it as I kind of originally hoped, but there's quite a few of the games I'd already sort of checked out anyway. But some of them I think have carried over, but I was doing my video that week and it was kind of like upset. I was sort of that was a week I had off. I kind of actually booked it off for Steam Next Fest originally, and then I decided, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do a video, and that video turned out being one I put probably the most effort into, so it took a bit of time. So but yeah, I didn't play as many Steam Next Fest as I thought I would in the end, but there'll be another one, and also some of the demos are now carrying over. Lots of people requesting a little bit longer for Steam Next Fest as well. I don't know about you guys. Would you like a bit longer to check those games out? It's 1 week basically, isn't it?
I think it's too short.
It is,
Even another week would be nice. I don't really get it either, because why can't it be just an announcement? Then you release the demos. Why does some demos get taken off? I don't really understand the concept of that, because if you're only giving people a short window, if you're giving people an infinite window to try your demo, it surely means that you might attract a lot more people to buy your game if it's good.
Yeah,
I guess the only thing
there must be some psychology around having the short
short
to
kind
get
of
everyone jump in,
get it in,
check out,
so they check out while it's hot.
Effect.
Yeah, there's that reason for sure. I think that when it's available, that's limited time, they'll go and check out then. Otherwise, they'll just sort of think, oh, I'll do it some other time. The other one is probably that they lock it in as a slice of the game that's got to their level that they want it to be, and then they're going to be taking it away and then developing on it further, if you see what I mean, in that sense. So I think sometimes, like, what was the game I saw? They said they're taking it away. I think it was actually Alien Hominid Invasion. They said they were taking it away, and I'm guessing that's because they're on the final run to release, maybe like months or something. You know what I mean? So they're going to finally push and do all the bug, get rid of all the bugs and all that sort of stuff. But I don't know. Yeah, I know what you mean. I just wish a little double that time would be good. Like 2 weeks at least would be nice, just to be able to check it out, because it's hard to fit it in, isn't it?
Because there are literally thousands of demos, and actually, Indy, for anyone who was struggling like myself, you give some really good advice on Twitter. I think Ryan Brown from Super Rare Originals tweeted about it as well. Just dump the things you're interested in on your wish list. It's a really good way, because you can't filter through 2,000 demos or however many there is, maybe even more. So get your wish list built up. That's something I'm going to try to do, just to help highlight the games I'm interested in.
100%, and that also works for when they go on sale as well, because for example, Steam sale right now, check it out, guys. We might have something lined up for a video for that, by the way. Wink wink. But but that also helps for that, because you'll get like a filter of games on your wish list that are on sale, so that always helps. Or you can just filter all the best deals in the actual wish list part of it. But I've got 302 games on my wish list, so to say I'm using it is an understatement, but it's well worth just knocking them on there, really. And it just helps break it all down, because I know you were looking at something like that when you got to try and be able to manage everything. I know you were looking at a cross-platform thing or something. Did you find anything in that sense, by the way?
There's a couple, like a few people use like How Long to Beat, which is something I use quite regularly. Like there's a Groovy or something like that, which is actually Giant Bomb. Filter. So I actually just gave up on it. I just figured I would just use Steam. Actually, or gg.deals. I didn't realize until this weekend that you can import your Steam wishlist into that.
Yeah.
So that's actually a pretty good resource as well.
You can do that on Fanatical as well. If you ever check out that site, you can import your Steam wishlist as well, which is quite handy, really. But yeah, some cool resources out there. But like, you know, it's as a wish listing thing, Steam, I think it's a good way to go. And then you can always kind of, even if you're going to buy it on another platform, you can keep an eye on it through the Steam all-in-one place situation. That's kind of the way I think works quite well. But yeah, shout out to some more awesome people coming in. Dragon Wolf in the house, thank you for being here, buddy. And the Mad Belmont returning in style. Thank you so much for coming back through, my friend. It's great to see you. Cool, guys. Well, I think we should probably crack on then and get on with the old Annapurna wrap up, best games, highlights, etc., whatever you want to call it. Yeah, let's take a look at what we saw, really. So to be honest with you, I saw it once. I don't know how many times you've checked out the actual showcase, but obviously we'll be doing a recap now and I'll bring it up on the screen. But let's just go around maybe while I get all that lined up and see your initial thoughts on the showcase maybe. So Scott, did you have any sort of thoughts on the overall Annapurna Interactive showcase, what you took away from it being? Was it a good show for you basically?
Yeah, I thought it was a good show, Indy. Really wholesome. I like kind of the style that they've got going on. The variety is pretty exceptional in these types of showcases, and obviously with it being Annapurna Interactive, there's almost like a level of expectation that you don't have with too many other publishers, where you're kind of expecting to be interested in a lot of the stuff that they showed. And I thought they had a really good show for this type of showcase as well. I think 30 minutes it was around 30 minutes is a perfect length.
Yeah.
And it's interesting to hear from developers directly, and you know, it's not just a massive team. You know, some solo developers, and hearing a little bit about their experience or their journey to developing that game. So yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show.
Nice, very cool. We'll get into some more details in a moment. That's great to hear your first impressions of that. Luke, buddy, I know you're an Annapurna fan. What did you think of this time's show? Because it was the same time last year, wasn't it? They did a showcase. So how did you feel about this one?
Yeah, I thought this one was really, really good. I thought for me, I thought it was better than last year.
Nice.
I think, as Scott said, you know, the format and the pacing in particular are really, really good.
Yeah,
really good. And the content, you know, I just thought was excellent. I mean, most things at this show, for me, I was interested in. You know, there's only a couple of things I'd say I'm not interested in, but and that to me is a successful show. So it's going to be different for everyone, obviously, but I just thought it was really good. I mean, there was, you know, no Outer Wild stuff, so that was always perpetually disappointing. But I don't know what that studio is doing next. But
right.
Apart from that, and no Silent Hill either.
No, because
that was a surprise, actually.
Yeah.
I thought that was going to show up. I thought that was going to be the ending. We'll obviously get onto the ending.
Yeah, so did I. So that was it. You know, for me, that was disappointing, particularly because, you know, I love Silent Hill, and also it's No Code that are making it, who made a really great game in Observation. So
Definitely.
I'm kind of quite confident about whatever they're making. But those were the only kind of negatives, and they're not really, you know, super harsh negatives or anything like that. They're just kind of more mild disappointment, and it was made up for a lot of things in the show for me.
Nice. Yeah, no, that's great to hear that you enjoyed it, buddy. So there was, you know, quite a few things shown. There was some definite highlights for myself. Did you want to go through these, everything? I mean, there's about, from what I took down on my notes, about 14 things of note that were shown. Should we work our way through them all, or do you want to go through the highlights and to pick it that way? What do you reckon? Any thoughts on that?
We just go through them one by one with the reason. If something doesn't quite take our fancy, we can maybe just get past it.
Sounds good.
A little bit.
That would be great, I think. And actually one of the things that did pick my eye, don't know if that's even a saying, take my fancy, whatever that meant, did pick my eye. I didn't like that. Let's just say, if it picked my, I wasn't quite as keen on it. That's what I meant by that. Yeah. No, so basically the first game that showed up was a game from a developer which I've had a lot of interest in before, Simogo. So you probably noticed this, Luke, I imagine, as well.
Yeah.
Sayonara Wild Hearts developer, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so a bit of a different feel to their last game.
Yeah, yeah, very different.
Yeah, I was kind of hoping for a bit more of another game like that, but then it's always nice when they ban their creativity and try something new, I suppose, as well. How did you feel about this kind of like horror kind of vibe? I didn't really get a lot from the actual trailer, but obviously this was called Lorelli and the Laser Eyes, I believe it was.
Yeah.
But yeah, you quite like your horrors. So did this catch your eye or pick your eye?
Yeah, it picked my eye greatly. It's funnily enough, I think they actually announced this last year.
Oh, really?
In a kind of really short way.
Okay.
And I can't remember where exactly they did it because I'm pretty certain they didn't do it at the Annapurna show, although maybe they did. But I just can't I can't remember where it was announced, but I remember seeing it very briefly. It's cool that they were here again with it. It just it looks. I mean, it's kind of like Sayonara Wild Hearts in that it looks weird.
Yeah,
right?
I suppose,
Their kind of style is let's make weird things, which is great. I love that.
True.
And this one is kind of horror based, but I think it's actually I think in terms of what the game is, I think it's like a murder mystery.
Cool.
I don't know if it's like an adventure-based murder mystery or how the gameplay actually works, but I think that's the conceit. And then obviously it's got this kind of really weird, kind of unsettling horror atmosphere. Going on. So I thought this was just really cool. And I mean, given Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is just such a great, cool game.
Yeah, I love it.
I think this could be really cool. So I'm eager to see what what it is and stuff. But it may be it's a bit like Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is actually a very difficult game to describe to someone in terms of mechanics and how you play the game. So
true.
So I don't know, but this looks cool anyway. So I'm looking forward to seeing it.
It's got it catches your attention, doesn't it? In a sense, and it does have that kind of look to the sort of art design, if you see what I mean, that they have in the other game, which is awesome. And I'm definitely, with what they've done with Sayonara Wild Hearts, even though it's a completely different vibe to the atmosphere or whatever of the game, I'm definitely up for seeing more on it. Did you like what you saw with this one, Scott?
Yeah, I thought it was interesting. I was just looking up, Luke, there when you were chatting. It does look like it showed up at Annapurna show last year.
I just can't remember
the 28th of June, 2022, apparently. It was revealed. So, I can't recall it from last year. So this was kind of me seeing it for the first time. And I thought the trailer was really interesting and creepy. And the original trailer actually shows you a little bit more, I think, in terms of what we expect from the game.
Okay. Does say on here that
if you're interested, it might be worth checking that one out. Yeah,
definitely. It does say it's a puzzle game. Just reading some information about some games here. I said about the game here. Does say it's a puzzle game, murder mystery, like Luke said there, where you appear to be stuck in some kind of maze. It does sound quite interesting for sure. Definitely be keen to see more on it as it's more of it's revealed, and I'll definitely check out that original trailer as well. But yeah, looks cool, and I'm glad to see another game from Simogo because I thought that Sayonara Wild Hearts was incredible. Great stuff. Cool. So moving on to something that's just popped up on the screen and graced us with its gloriousness, in my opinion, anyway. And that is Cocoon was up next. What a cool showing it was of this. I think we were kind of hoping, expecting, maybe praying that we got the release date and all that this year. It was at this showcase. It was revealed the release date, isn't it? I didn't miss it somewhere else, did I?
Yeah. Did it come up at the Summer Games Fest?
It was shown, but not the release date.
It was shown, but the release date was this one,
Yeah, the release date was held on it. I wish my internet would be a bit better. It's annoying I have to keep doing that when I move it. But yeah, so bringing on old Cocoon, looks amazing. I think there's a lot of excitement for the game. There was some great showings at the Day of the Devs, and it was at another showcase as well that I cannot remember of the Summer Game Fest situation. But yeah, it looks, stunning, and the puzzle elements, all the transitions between the portal worlds and stuff look phenomenal. It just it has me well and truly sold. Basically, I love the art direction, and with again always have to mention it. Jeppe Carlsen. I've now learned I think he's called Jeppe, not Jep. So I've changed it. But I was trying to work it out before. But yeah, he's the gameplay designer of X-Play Dead, basically. So yeah, with him at the helm there, with the gameplay, I think we should be well and truly safe with that on the gameplay side of things. So it looks like some very interesting things going on in this game. But yeah, what did you think about seeing Cocoon? Are you excited for it, guys?
Yeah, I'm really excited. I think we were all, because they showed up at Xbox's showcase last year, I believe, for the first time.
That's right.
People were excited. So it was nice to see it again, and nice to get a release date of, was it September 29th?
29th, that's right. Yeah,
29th. Yeah. So really looking forward to this. Coming to everything pretty much, and Game Pass as well. So really cool game.
Definitely, yeah. Game Pass announcements is pretty cool. That was already there, obviously, but yeah, I think that was announced at the Xbox show originally, wasn't it? It was Game Pass.
Yeah.
So, yeah, looking great. How about yourself, Luke? You excited for it?
Yeah, I was looking forward to it anyway. We've seen quite a lot of it actually.
Yeah, we have
6-7 months.
Definitely.
Which I don't think with this game is a bad thing. Yeah, I mean it's great. It's got release date, and I just think it looks really different, really weird, to be honest. Which is great. So and I love how and it's not something the original trailer really showed, but I've noticed it more really with this trailer. And then before that, I think Easy Allies did a preview video on it, where they had some gameplay footage, and it's cool how you collect these orbs, I guess, and they have the worlds that you go into are within the orbs, so you kind of seamlessly load in and out of them. I just think that's such a clever thing.
It's clever, and so they like act as a way to go into them, but also they do like something as a mechanic when you're holding it, I believe, if you see what I mean.
Exactly, yeah. So there's I think there's kind of a link between puzzling inside the orb, and then maybe you have to go outside the orb to complete the puzzle or do something else, and then go back in the all that kind of stuff. So I just think that's really cool.
Definitely. And I think this trailer as well of Cocoon, this most recent trailer, obviously it should look the best it's ever looked, but it definitely for me looks tip top now. It's like what they've shown in this trailer, in my opinion, I know it's always looked good, but there's some elements to this trailer and some different environments that they show off that really makes me 100% like super excited for it, if you know what I mean. There's some sort of like vehicle stuff where you're like floating through the air stuff, and just to mix up a gameplay, because it looks interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of variety, and it'll keep your interest, hopefully. That seems what it will be like anyway. Hopefully it will be the case. But yeah, 29th of September, exciting times. I know Thimba is excited for this one. Are you excited for this one, guys? In the chat, let us know if you're excited for Cocoon. It's a pretty cool announcement, I think. Another Annapurna gem. Anything else you wanted to note about Cocoon, guys?
Nope. Just
all good.
Want to play it?
It looks great.
Want to get involved. Sounds good to me.
Actually, to Luke's point, what I would say is if you are interested, check out Easy Allies and a lot of other people that checked out Summer Games Fest, because a lot of the previews of the game were really positive as well. So if the trailers maybe aren't selling you, or you're a little unsure, check those previews out, because there was Easy Allies, like Luke said, was a really good one.
Definite. Yeah, do the Easy Allies one out of anyone, I would say, because they're great channel. Cool, fantastic. That's good to hear. Yeah, I mean, I think it got like Game of Summer Game Fest or something, didn't it? If I'm not mistaken, I think it might have got something like that. Where they get an award for the best game of the show or something. I might have imagined that, but I'm pretty sure it did.
Jeff does love an award.
Yeah,
so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, true. But perfectly aligned for the next game. It was Lush Foil Photography Sim. Have I got that right? I think I have. Let me just double check.
That's right.
Yeah, brilliant. So I'm pretty sure this is going to be up most of our street. Which so yeah, obviously I'm a massive fan of photography. Worked as a professional photographer for quite a lot of years, and this looks absolutely stunning. So yeah, wowzers is a word for this one, I think, just for the visual aspect, isn't it? And yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I'm going to pass it over to you guys. I know both of you guys like photography, so who would like to grab this one?
You go for it, Luke.
I'll go. Yeah, sure.
What did you think?
No, this was the one I mentioned to you that I thought would be really up your alley. Indeed.
Oh, okay. I was wondering which one it was. Yeah, well, thank you.
I agree. I just thought it looked like visually incredible. Like the level of detail in the environments is great, which makes total sense given that the purpose of the game is to take pictures. So actually, you need to really hold up detail kind of near and far for that. For it to work as a concept. I mean, it's like a kind of solo dev-ish game. And it's not something that I'd usually be too interested in, except for the fact that over the past year I have got more and more into photography. The idea of simming it in these kind of incredible environments, I think would be quite a relaxing and fun experience. So I'm really looking forward to this. I wonder, like, I just really want to see, because the trailer doesn't really show it that much, but like, the level of detail in terms of the sim element of photography, like how that works. I'm sure I'm sure you can get different lenses, you can tweak all your settings and stuff like that, but it doesn't show much of that in the trailer. So I really want to see what that looks like. But these environments are just incredible, like absolutely incredible. So
look at that one there that looks like Canada or something like that. It looks amazing. It's just like, wow, all of it does though. I mean, it's breathtaking stuff, really. And I think there's a bit of kind of meta, almost like Inception stuff going on, because I'm sure you know this anyway, but like Annapurna is a mountain range, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that's actually featured in this. I think one of the mountain ranges actually in this game, if that makes sense. Of the Annapurna mountain range. So if I'm not mistaken, I might correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but anyway, it'd be pretty cool if that was the case. I'm pretty sure it is the case though.
It is.
It is. I was right. Oh, thank God.
In Nepal.
I thought it was in Nepal. Yeah, in that area with the colors and stuff going on. So thanks for confirming that. But yeah, it just looks stunning realistic stuff. But I totally agree about what you said about the camera elements, because that when he picks up like a really like dull looking DSLR, we'd rather something like a bit more, like sort of like a nice mirrorless. You can choose your settings. You know what I mean? That SLR looks like it's just like some really brand
bog standard.
Exactly.
2005 model, something like that.
It'd be a nice part of it, because I think that would appeal to a lot of people who this game would appeal to, if you know what I mean. But Scott, what did you think of this one, buddy?
Yeah, so I'm not quite the photography nerd that you guys appear to be. So it doesn't actually pick my eye, as the saying is.
Pick my eye.
To get rid of that saying.
Before it grows too big.
I mean, visually, as you guys have said, it does look incredible. It's funny, I saw this and I was like, this has to be like Unreal 5, and I'm pretty sure it probably is on Unreal 5, just because of what they've shown. So I think visual looks done. The concept to me just isn't something that interests me an awful lot, though.
Sure, so it wouldn't be enough to kind of carry you through, kind of thing.
I don't think so. I mean, Dragon Wolf has said in the chat that it's just an upgrade on Pokemon Snap, isn't it? But it's not as good because it doesn't have any Pokemon in it. So
that would be quite strange if there was some in this photorealistic world. But I mean, I know where you're coming from. I mean, to be able to take some great pictures like this in locations which look, from what I'm looking at here, it looks just as good pretty much as the location itself. Like, I know it's obviously no substitute for being there, of course, but to be able to just check out some of these amazing locations and take some great pictures, that'll be pretty cool, I think. And
are they going to be based on real life locations? Do
yes,
as that being said, it is okay. That's pretty cool, because that'll give people opportunity to really go and explore maybe places that they wouldn't otherwise.
Yeah, definitely. I think it'll be cool. Nice, relaxing experience. Pretty sure it'll be up Meisuke Street as well, as he's an artist, of course. But I mean, like when, for example, like the game Season, one of the best things in that game is taking photos, in my opinion. Obviously, I know there's a game there as well which carries you through, so that's probably the difference where you say, I need a bit more game, if you know what I mean. But there's I just enjoy going around taking pictures in that game, in a sense. So, I think that would be quite a nice relaxing thing to do in this game. But looks cool to me. Anything else you wanted to mention, guys, on this one? No,
I'm good.
Lovely stuff. So next up, it was Just about to wait and find out. It was the developer.
It was to a T.
So yeah, game wise, after this developer spotlight. So it's to a T after this. Or is that the same developer who are making to a T? Sorry, skip forward to a T. Oh, that's a long spotlight. What did you think of the spotlights, the developer spotlights in the show? Did you quite like seeing that side of things?
Yeah, I thought they were cool. The only problem I had with some of them is that as cool as they were, and I did really enjoy them, I think sometimes they almost focused the majority of the attention on the developer rather than the game.
Yeah.
So I felt as a game highlight method, like as a vehicle for that, it wasn't that great.
Yeah.
Because you wouldn't have enough game. But
exactly.
As a kind of backdrop to these developers and stuff, I thought it was really interesting, and they weren't too long, which is always one of the main issues. So.
I particularly liked, which we'll get to in a minute, but like the glass revolver, I think it was.
The monsters one.
That's it. Yeah. We Kill Monsters is the game, I think.
Yeah.
So I really like the way they've done that, and that's exactly what you were just saying. I think if it was, ties into the game design and everything, you see sort of him going off, and just walking around the local area and then coming home and doing a bit of development. I just love that kind of thing. But yeah, if it's just non-related to the actual game, then there's not much you can sort of draw on. It's just like, it's just this person doing their shopping or whatever. I'm not really interested in that. You know what I mean? But
Was he the one that deleted the 2D version of his game?
That's it. Yeah.
I found that to be what balls
that is incredible.
You've got to have to do that.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, obviously great on him to be able to have just the vision to go ahead and do that and have the confidence to basically just erase an entire game effectively. So
it blew my mind, actually. It's such a brave thing to do, but I guess that's what indie development's often about, is just being brave and doing that sort of thing. But yeah, respect big time. So much work that he must have just done. But if he was going for that vision, then it seems to be paying off. So yeah, back to a T. I could have done probably a link then. Missed that one. But yeah, to a T. Did any of did this game grab any of you guys in any way at all?
I thought this looks really funny, actually.
Nice.
I thought it was again weird and just such a stupid stupidly funny concept, and I'm really interested to see what how it plays. Like, what do you do?
It's just been honest that you're actually in the shape of a T.
It's just like, and I always think one of the funniest things in games is when characters T-pose in kind of inappropriate situations. So the fact that this game is a game about T-posing, basically is just it's just weird. And I just loved the original song that they did for this. It just had that kind of really weird, funny energy about it. So. I thought it was really good. I think it's Japanese developed as well.
It's from the guys behind Katamari. Is it Damacy? I can't remember how you actually pronounce that. Keita Takahashi.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
So I thought this would have been up your street when I saw it was from them. Because you're a big fan of Katamari, aren't you?
Yes, I really love that game. So. This, and you can just look at this game and realize, I think, that it's so quirky and clearly, Japanese video.
You definitely can.
The minute I saw it, I was like, I don't know who this is, but I'm sure there's a Japanese developer behind it. So
I tell you, there's something that really makes me really, really like it. I know it's a really small detail, but. I don't know if you noticed, like the texture on them, on the characters and the art and stuff like that. There's like a texture. I just really like that. It's a small thing that makes me happy, but you know what I mean. There's a little cross texture you can see over just over the all of the art style, really. And I like textured stuff, and it makes it just a bit more kind of like interesting, but a bit more you can reach out and touch it, I suppose. And it's good for this kind of art style. It's a nice idea, I think. But yeah, it looks interesting, looks funny, looks quirky. How about you, Scott? Are you up for it?
To be honest, it didn't actually grab me until one point in the trailer where he flies, because he's in the T-pose and he spins fast enough that he can fly. Which I think Luke touched on it. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays. Like how you can actually play this character that's stuck in a permanent T-pose. The one thing that's probably worth
that's great.
highlighting about this is that they're actually working with the Able Gamers charity
Oh, cool.
in developing this, which I think is pretty cool. So obviously there's going to be a big focus on accessibility and things like that for this game, which is always amazing to see.
Most definitely. And I can't believe you haven't mentioned there's a dog in it. You've been looking
there is. There's also a giraffe, if I remember correctly.
There is.
I was seeing that.
I just know you've been crying out for a dog game.
Actually, I have. Yeah. I'm not too sure I'd be keen on my dog help me brush my teeth, though. If I'm being honest.
No, I thought that might be the common.
That'll probably end in an absolute disaster. So.
That's great stuff. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, we do need that dog game now, don't we? Like, we've had a lot of cat games, which is great, obviously, but the dog game.
I think dogs are too almost chaotic. I don't know if you could actually do a dog game, because like what you were just playing, and all of a sudden the dog gets distracted by a bird and the game's over. I suppose something.
They lean more to the sort of comedic kind of game, I suppose.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? But you probably thought they couldn't do a game where you play as a cat in a cyberpunk world before Stray came along. So you never know.
I could imagine like an Untitled Goose Game as a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe.
That's it.
I think they could do some fun stuff there. To be fair, an Untitled Goose Game as a cat as well, I think could be pretty cool.
Definitely. Yeah, that's great stuff. Cool. So yeah, next up is Flock for the next game shown. So this one, I didn't like the presentation of it, if I'm honest. I don't know about you guys.
Yeah.
It felt a bit forced. It's always that way when you have, let's do a real life example of playing the game together. Do you know what I mean? That's one of the only things that it was amiss on for the actual showcase for me, but it's one of those hard things, isn't it? To be able to show, because you want to show the multiplayer aspect of it or whatever.
Yeah. It reminds me, Indy, unfortunately, of Ubisoft.
Okay, right.
I don't think really there's much worse I could say. And I don't want to say too bad on the game, but I'll always remember the Rainbow Six Siege demonstration that Ubisoft did, probably when it was E3 still at the time, and it's just so forced, and it's just like, this isn't how people speak in real life
exactly.
a lot of the time. And I'm sure these guys are passionate about the game, and obviously they're excited about it, but you're right, it just seemed forced, and I think that kind of takes you, it's distracting from what you're seeing when it's that obvious, I think.
I think the guy was a bit more natural, the girl was a bit less natural, let's say. But yeah, I mean, did you like the look of the game? Do you think it would be something that you would check out still, or is it not so much for you?
Probably not a game for me. I think this one, I did actually quite like the art style and some of the animal designs. I actually thought were pretty cool. Like, I think they showed off like what looked like snakes and birds and sheep, all that could fly. So I did quite like the art style, and I just, similar to kind of the photography game, I just don't think it's a game that would appeal to me typically, that I would play too often. Yeah,
no, that's cool, man. No worries. You obviously, like, we can never get 100% hit rate with these, and that's to appeal to so many different gamers, isn't it? But yeah, Luke, did it appeal to you, my friend?
Probably not. No, but I mean, it, again, I guess like Scott, like I like the art style a lot. And the concepts looks fun enough, but I don't know whether I mean, because it's such a short demonstration, I don't know how that's going to hold someone over a period of time. I don't. All this really showed was kind of seemingly the central mechanic, but what else are you doing? Is this just a kind of a drop-in game where you do some of this and then drop out? Like, I don't really know. I didn't really get that vibe from the trailer, but certainly really love the art style. I think it looks pretty incredible. It reminded me actually of in a weird way of like Flower.
Oh yeah,
something
like that, but just with obviously these weird animals in it. So
kind of soft
it
palette,
gave me that
isn't
kind
it?
of vibe. Yeah, soft palette and the pastel colors, and that
exactly.
sort of stuff. So so I really liked it from that perspective. But I don't know what it's going to be like as a game. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, no, that's a great shout. I do quite like all the sea creatures and stuff. That's quite nice. It reminds me of like Finding Nemo, you know, when he's when the guy's like at the school and that, you know what I mean? But yeah, that's cool. Lovely stuff. Yeah, let us know in the chat, guys, what have been some of your highlights. If you've checked out the show already, let us know what games you liked when you watched it, and if you haven't, let us know what games you've liked so far, and all that good stuff. I know May Suko has mentioned he enjoyed Ghost Bike, and that was definitely one of my highlights. We will be getting to that very shortly, actually ridiculously shortly. It's coming up next. Well, that was good, wasn't it?
It's almost like you planned it.
I know.
Just like the professional you are, mate.
Miraculous moment there. Let me fast forward. I've actually gone a little bit far back now because this is a big segment. Okay, yeah, so the next one, Ghost Bike, probably was my, well, apart from Cocoon, I suppose, but a fresh game, probably my favourite thing I saw, actually. Ghost Bike. I actually thought this might have been the game that you were referring to, Luke, when you said there'll be one I like, because I thought you might think, it's a bit like Season kind of thing, if you know what I mean. And it did give me a little bit of that vibe with the kind of art style and stuff. But yeah, I just thought this looked lovely and just chill and quite a cool concept. I imagine there's more going on there, though. I don't know if you guys have got any more insight into the actual, you know, the Ghost Bike thing. I think Ghost Bike might actually be a real thing in real life that they've put into this game. I'll have to do some research on that. I'm just going off kilter there. But yeah, so there's obviously this bike which has got this skull on it. But yeah, just look at the art style. You don't really need to do much to realize how gorgeous this game looks. But yeah, I'm just I think it's going to look at a relaxing experience just to enjoy in a sense, really. But yeah, I want to know more about it, but I know it sounds, you know, a little bit shallow, but I'm already sold. It just looks beautiful, doesn't it? It's just like I will definitely check this bad boy out, and it's coming to Game Pass as well, and all other platforms, which is pretty damn sweet. But yeah, let me pass this one to you guys because you may have a little more info on the actual mechanics of the game potentially. I'll do a little research while you chat. But yeah, Scott, did you have any thoughts on Ghost Bike?
Yeah, similar to you, mate. This is probably my highlight of the show.
Nice.
Cocoon's up there, but because we'd already seen that, you know, it's always nice to see new things.
Yeah.
And I believe this is from the developer behind Nidhogg and Nidhogg 2, and I'm sure they've released something else. And if you've played either of those games, you'll know it's, you know, fun multiplayer games.
It's really similar art style actually to the other games, isn't it?
Yeah,
they've upped the budget for this one,
yeah,
just a bit. Yeah, Jesus, that's
it's
quite
funny
funny.
you mentioned the art style. This really reminds me of something else. A game that I'm pretty sure both you guys like. I'm not too sure exactly what it is, or
I wonder if it's Season. Is it Season?
It might be Season. It might be Season. If it looks like Season, yeah, I kind of got a familiar feeling from the art style, but at the same time, I did really like the look of it. I don't have too much more info on it though, to be perfectly honest, India. I think the trailer was kind of enough for me to be interested. Obviously, it's not out till next year. So we might have to wait a little bit before we get our hands on it. But yeah, because of the developer behind it, because of the art style, and I'm assuming it's some sort of racing game. I'm assuming it's going to have a multiplayer element as well. Yeah, really interested. Let's see a highlight of the show.
Definitely. No, that's awesome to hear. Tell you what I'll do. I'll be a little bit of a better host, hopefully, than I just was. I will give a little bit more insight before I pass it over to Luke. So it's just straight from the Steam page, though, so I'm not that much of a better host. But it basically says on Steam, Ghost Bike puts players in the shoes of a streetwise kid from Free Hub City on a mission to revive the last of the Ghost Bikes, the magical couriers who rode between the world of the living and the world of the dead. Doesn't really give us any more information, actually. But it's quite lovely. So yeah, there's this Ghost Bike thing going on, which sounds quite intriguing. But there are key features: explore a beautifully stylized semi-open world, completing challenges at your own pace, find hidden bike parts and customize your bike's build, test your mettle through a variety of challenges from pro peloton racing to back alley crits and general tomfoolery. Sounds nice. Yeah, so it does sound like there's a bit more of not so much a hardcore racing kind of vibe. I think it is more of the experience, I think, that they're going for. But yeah, Luke, let me pass it to you. Oh, sorry, Scott, you had something to say there, sorry.
Yeah, sorry, just before I pass over to Luke, and then I'll hand over. I guess the thing that, looking at the Steam description, when it says like completing challenges at your own pace, I wonder if there is going to be like a competitive kind of leaderboard style thing, maybe a little bit like Trials.
Yeah, cool.
Possibly.
I think that would be a nice addition. Yeah, I mean, maybe a mix. It's sort of a mix of both in the sense, I think, of the two worlds. I don't know if it's like it's more. You think it's more of a competing sort of time trial based game then, rather than it being a story based game? Do you think?
Possibly. I mean, I don't even know if it's multiplayer at all.
Sure.
I'm just assuming it based on their history. In fact, actually, Steam just listed it as a single player game.
Yeah,
but I guess it could be single player with leaderboards still.
Yeah, I think that could be an addition to it.
Comes from, so.
I get the feeling there's going to be story focus with maybe additional. What you just mentioned, that could definitely be a thing. And as well, Annapurna are all pretty much always. Although it doesn't mean that they can't break the mold, but often they will have these story-focused games, won't they, and stuff like that. But yeah, anyway, It says adventure. It does say sports, racing, and it says action adventure on the top tags on Steam. But yeah, it's interesting, and I'm hooked in. But yeah, Luke, what do you think, my friend?
Yeah, I thought it looked cool. Again, I got very season / Sable art style vibes from it.
Yeah, definitely.
Sable, that's it. That's the one.
That's the one. Yeah, it's quite similar. It's a bit of a hybrid between those two, actually.
Yeah,
in some ways.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
So I thought, art style really cool. Again, I didn't, before the description, I didn't really, sort of know what the game was about. Which I thought was a bit of a weakness of the trailer, right?
Sure.
As in, it's just it looks beautiful, but I can't be sold on just aesthetics alone, for a game, which is sometimes a problem in some of these trailers. But I think hearing the description, it sounds quite narrative driven, and there's clearly some racing involved as well. And I think I read somewhere that it's kind of semi-open world.
Yep, that's right.
Areas, So I think that could be really cool, actually. It looks quite different, but with a great art style. And I guess if the moment to moment, bicycling is good, then that could be really fun.
Definite. Yeah, great shout. Cool. Yeah, it's a nice surprise. Very, very beautiful looking game, and yeah, definitely Sable in there as well. It probably is a bit more Sable than Season, maybe, than I think, with the crushed kind of look to it, if you get what I mean. And also Rollerdrome as well, obviously, with that look.
That's a good show. It looks quite similar to that, actually.
Yeah, definite. But it looks stunning, and great showing from this game for sure. Get it on your wish list, guys. Get any of these games on your wish list, as we are, always love to keep an eye on these games, and when they do come out, then we know they're coming, and it also helps out the developers, of course, as well. Next up, where were we? Next up was the Glass Revolver showing from the developer. Obviously we were mentioning about that earlier on, that they designing their game We Kill Monsters, and as Scott said, they went from 2D, totally scrapped the whole of their process to go 3D, which is such a brave move. But I thought this was a really good little showing how they've done this and exactly how it should be done, really, in a developer spotlight. But did we see much of the actual game on this one? I can't remember what we saw. Not really. Yeah, just a few little nuggets, wasn't it? But really interesting though, and I recommend going to watch this one yourself, guys, because we'll probably skip past because it's more we're going to focus on the games. Unless there's anything else you wanted to mention about this one, guys.
I mean, the only thing that was funny, I found really funny about this one is, again, I touched on this earlier, but I love the backstory. I didn't think it showed that much of a game, and funnily enough, it was the developer's older game, his first game, that I was actually more interested in coming out. Because it showed a little bit of that off as he was talking about his history developing this game, and I was like, that looks really good.
Is that Iter or Iter? Or
yeah. So I kind of came out of it being like, actually, I'm going to go and check that out, which is still a positive for the showing, but it sold me more on that game than his new one. Although the one thing I did really like about his new game that he said was a big focus was camping, right? He was like, that's a big focus. And I think like the idea of adventuring and then camping and repeating that kind of cycle in a game is really, really immersive. So maybe his new game will be really cool, but they just didn't really show much of it. So I don't know.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Absolutely. Yeah, his old game does look pretty cool. Actually, you like that pixel art sort of look, don't you?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Very cool. Anything you wanted to mention about this one, Scott, or should we move forward?
Yeah, I mean, just very quick. Yeah, I think Week on Monsters sounds pretty interesting. Actually,
Yeah.
would be nice to see a bit more. Obviously, you described it as very much kind of like Monster Hunter. I mean, Week on Monsters is in the name, but it's a kind of a solo and co-op game as well. So yeah, hopefully we'll see a little bit more in the not too distant future.
Definitely, yeah, sounds good. Looking cool, and yeah, like I said, enjoy these sort of spotlights on the developers, and yeah, Annapurna do them well. So next up was one I cannot even recall in my mind right now. It's noted
Bounty Star, I believe.
Oh, I've got a different one on here. I've got
okay.
Moonwan or something. I don't even know what that is. Did I write that down correctly? Oh, that's one from my own
my notes might be wrong.
Let me move forward and
have that one on.
See if I've actually wrote that down right. I did write. Oh no, I didn't. Moon Dawn or something. I don't even know what it was. Actually, I think.
Yeah, Moondawn. Yeah,
Moondawn is it? Yeah. Because I think I was writing that really quickly while I was eating my dinner and watching it at the same time. But yeah, so maybe Luke knows the most about this one potentially. Would you like to take the lead on this one, sir?
yeah, it's so this is I mean it's already out, this game, but I think the announcement here was that it's it's coming out for consoles, or it's out for consoles now.
Yes, I remember. I remember that now. I think that's why I didn't make a note of it, with it being, not necessarily something yet to be released on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. It's it's a horror game, and it's kind of like this penciled drawing style. It's quite different actually, kind of low 3D res, but which gives it this kind of horrible horror vibe. It's almost a bit PS1-ish, I suppose, like if PS1 could do a first person game like this. And it's set in the Alps, I think, from memory, and it's kind of survival horror-ish, kind of heavy emphasis on exploration and stuff like that. So I've not played it. I'd seen a lot of stuff. I know it's been really well received on Steam, on PC, so I think the critical reviews were a bit lower for it. But I guess if you're interested in it, then it's now on more platforms, right? So go and check it out. I think on Steam, by the way, because I'm sure this was on my wish list, or I saw it somewhere, but I think it's like 50% off now.
Oh, okay.
So it's only like £8 or £9, something like that. So
cool.
If you want to go and check it out, then you can.
Nice, cheeky.
Too scary for you though, Andy. So I would maybe.
I don't know where this has come from. Lucas started this actually. I know that.
It's going to be too intense. So
it's all started
from Mario or something. I don't know. No.
It was started from what's it called? Blasphemous. It's actually blasphemous. The remarks you make.
I thought it was Doom.
No, Doom. I'm a hardcore Doom.
Only with the PG filter applied, so the confetti comes out.
Doom. I'm a hardcore Doom lover.
He plays grounded with the arachnophobia setting. From what I've heard.
Indy played. He doesn't play grounded because the idea of small people in gardens freaks him out. So he's just like, even that's too much. Really.
The spider is too much. Yeah. Oh dear, we'll have to argue this one out another time. I don't know. I think Blasphemous has caused this though. The floating baby. That's what spiraled from there. I actually do quite like a bit of horror. it's quite strange.
You keep telling yourself that, Andy. We all know how you really feel.
Love it. Okay, so what's the next one? It was Bounty Star now. So that's not Bounty Star though. What was this one? Dinner God. Why have I not got that on my list? Do you remember them showing Dinner God, guys?
I can't even remember. I can't remember this.
Oh no, this is Bounty Star. Sorry, hang on a minute. Dinner God might be the developer.
Oh, okay, that was Dev. Yeah.
I was
get confused.
How much did I miss from this
Dino God, that sounds great.
There we go. So Bounty Star should be joining us soon. Yeah. So Bounty Star, not really up my street, I could say. I mean, how about you guys? Anyway,
same.
Yeah.
This was the quote unquote weakest game of the show for me. Like it didn't. The thing is, the idea of mech games, I really like. I do like mech games. It's just this one didn't really do anything for me. And you know what? I think one of the reasons for that is, to me, there's been no really fantastic mech game since like Mech Assault. The Mech Assault series, like kind of the Xbox Mech Assaults in particular, which were just absolutely incredible. And anytime I see a mech game, I always perpetually compare it to Mech Assault.
Right. Yeah.
So, and then I think as well, Armored Core's around the corner, and I just think that just looks incredible. And I don't want to judge this game too harshly. I just didn't. Something about the art style in particular, I just didn't vibe with it at all.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Luke. The art style didn't grab me. I was actually a little interested first because, like you, Luke, I was a big fan of Mech Assault. It's been a long time since I played a mech game that I've enjoyed. Unfortunately, it then flips to the kind of like the base building and the sort of farming elements, and that kind of turned me off, unfortunately. But I'm sure it'll be for someone.
Yeah.
Nice. Yep. And it actually is for Thimber in chat there, so definitely, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's like we say. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just not for us, and it's for other people basically. And it's good that there's such a variety of games these days. It's a big market, isn't it? Basically, gaming now it's massive. So much diversity within it, which is awesome. And so definitely got some quite diverse games coming up as the last few as well. So the next one though is a familiar friend, and that was Stray. So getting its Xbox release date confirmed with a really cool way of showing it, actually. A cool trailer. I thought that was very clever of them with the old Xbox controller getting knocked off. But yeah, were you surprised to see this? Were you excited to see this, guys? Are you going to take a double dip on this, or?
I think.
Have you played it, Scott? Did you?
I wasn't a big fan, but I think it's because I'm not. I think it's because I'm not a cat person. I think
on this podcast.
I know it is. It is. Look, that's not even the thing that I'm going to disappoint you with either, unfortunately. So
I know.
I'm just looking forward to this finally being, the Xbox community finally accepting this as a GOTY contender from last year.
That's true.
Everyone's
Right.
position will change.
It will.
So really good trailer though. I thought it was an excellent trailer. The way they had the. It's just like a cat. But I'm not a cat person, so yeah.
But I mean, the world is so damn good though, Scott. You just gotta. You played it though, haven't you?
Yeah, I did play maybe like an hour and a half or something, and it just it didn't grab me. I got to a part where you've kind of got to get in a bucket and you sort of traversing across the town, if I remember rightly. It just didn't grab me too much, unfortunately. So, but obviously, I'm in the minority with that. This is a well loved game, so don't listen to me. Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, there was one thing about the game where I was worried about before I played it, if you see what I mean, and that was that it seemed like I heard that if you tap the button, you automatically land on the platform, and that is pretty much true actually. But you know what I mean, there's no sort of like making sure you land. It's
not like free form
exactly
jumping. It's the best way to describe it.
Exactly, and that's what I was slightly worried about, but I didn't have a problem with it once I played it, because I don't know, it's very immersive, and it's very, I don't know, it's just very well done, isn't it? The beautiful world, and I know it's not all about aesthetics, but it's just really well realized, and the level design, like Meisuko was saying, that's a great shout. And the sort of relationship between the characters is quite interesting, I think, and little touches in the way the cat reacts is very well done, I think. And I haven't actually finished it, to be honest. I need to get back to it. It's just crazy, you just get distracted, but got a good amount of way through, and it's just amazing. I always say it, but the lighting it's just crazily good in this game.
Yeah, I mean, it looks beautiful. I can't obviously get away from how good it looks. Especially, it's one of those games I talk about from time to time where it blurs the line between what's indie and what's not. When you see this game, you could imagine this coming from Insomniac or a developer of that caliber, just because it looks so bloody good.
Yeah, definitely. So you've already played through it, obviously, Luke, haven't you? As one of your games of the year. So you're not going to go back on Xbox and have another go or anything, or?
No, I guess if I was an achievement hunter, that would probably be a wise thing, but I'm not. So
Exactly, yeah.
no, I won't be.
No need.
I was hoping, to be honest, and I'm really glad it's out on Xbox, but I was hoping what they would show was some like DLC.
Yeah.
That would be really cool.
Still
However,
could, maybe.
yeah, still could. Yeah,
Yeah.
you never know. I mean, obviously, it was very successful for them. So I think, you know, making a good cat game is like easy money, I guess. Like because lots of people love cats and they'll just pick it up or be interested in it because of that reason. So
Yeah.
yeah, I thought I loved the game. I thought it was great. As you say, just the world is stunning, and the way that they've animated the cat for anybody who has a cat, you know, it's just it's uncannily like how cats move. I just think the attention to detail in that is superb. And actually, the story is really really good. It's really underrated. It's quite emotional at points. So yeah, the only issue I ever had with it, which they've still not addressed, is that for a game that's set in a lush neon cyberpunk environment, that it doesn't have HDR. I just don't understand it. Yeah, I just don't understand like how you've got this world that begs for kind of bright highlights and you didn't have HDR. Very weird. But yeah, apart from that, it's great. So I'm really glad. I was surprised it wasn't on Game Pass. Like I just assumed that they would get that as a Game Pass game, but it may be because of the deal they had with Sony.
Quite possible.
And quite possible.
It's still in PS Plus, isn't it? Or is it just left PS Plus?
I think it's still in.
Yeah, there's probably some sort of
You can't put it on Game Pass or another
some
subscription service for a while.
shenanigans. Some shenanigans there, yeah, probably. Did they mocap a cat for this game?
I can't actually remember, but I'm sure they didn't. I'm sure it's actually. I'm pretty sure that I saw them talking about that it was all keyed animation.
Really?
But they really obviously studied, you know, videos of cats and, you know, their own cats and stuff like that.
That's
sure,
even more impressive, to be honest. But I was just thinking, how on earth could you mocap a cat? A cat just wouldn't tolerate
what you want.
Like I've seen like dogs being mocap before, but dogs you just throw a ball and you know there's like
off they go.
Yeah, I'm happy, but cats are a little maybe not quite as can't be controlled quite as well as dogs maybe.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But go pick it up because it's a great game, and I'm looking forward to hopefully many people eating some crow. From kind of really bashing this game and saying all sorts of stupid things about, you know, because it was a PlayStation exclusive, it was nominated for
bloody good point
Game of the Year awards or whatever, which is just absolutely ridiculous to anyone that played the game. I mean, even if you didn't enjoy the game, I think you could see it was made, you know, a quality made game. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
That is so true. Yeah, a lot of people did go down that route, didn't they? It's unbelievable. Just because it wasn't on their platform, but yeah. Anyways, so they'll be playing it and enjoying it, or they will just refuse to maybe. But either way, it's an awesome game, and it's actually on sale on Steam at the moment as well. If you haven't picked it up on PC, you can check it out through the Steam sale at the moment. So I can't remember the sale price on it at the moment, but it's a good price if I remember rightly. But yeah, definitely a nice announcement to have in this showcase. And moving on from there, so next up we had a game called Thirsty Suitors. This has been showing a fair bit actually, I think. Don't know if you guys have caught it on any other showcases at all, guys? Thirsty Suitors, or anyone?
Yeah, I think this has been shown too much.
Maybe,
if I'm being honest. It's not a game for me. I don't know what it is about it, but it's just it might just be a bit. I don't really know how to describe it. I've seen a lot of people seem pretty excited for it, but it has been shown a lot. I think it first appeared maybe last summer, and I've seen it quite a bit, and I think because it didn't grab me, doesn't interest me too much. The fact that it seems to have shown a lot, it's getting a bit Deathloopy, I think for me. So
yeah, I mean they are showing new stuff, and it does look like there's a lot going on. It does look like it's really well built as well, and obviously, you know, the great thing about this game is they're showing a lot of different cultures and stuff like that, and incorporating it right into the the heart of the game, which I think is really, really cool. I think some of the mechanics actually look quite fun. It does look like obviously just over the top stuff and just totally kind of like, you know, bright colors. It's in your face in an awesome way, I think. But yeah, no, I think this is going to be a lot of people's favorite game. You know what I mean? For, you know, this, you know, people who love to absorb this kind of game, really. I think it's a cool game they're making. I think it will be very successful. But yeah, I know what you mean. It's maybe not going to click 100% with me, but I can see what they're doing with it, and it's really November 2nd release date, by the way. And it's like I say, it's really vibrant, loads of culture going on in it, and I love that about it. But yeah, how about yourself, Luke? What do you think?
Yeah, I think it was kind of similar to Scott. Like it's just not something that's. I guess I've never really looked at it and gone, yeah, I'll play that. You know,
yeah.
I do like the art style, and I do like how creative it seems to be.
Yeah,
I think that's really cool. But again, it's kind of on that level where there's just nothing in it that's ever really kind of drawn me in. So yeah, hopefully it finds an audience. I'm sure it will.
I think it definitely. Yeah, I think you're right. It'll definitely do well. In my opinion. But yeah, like I say, it looks like it's a really well built game, and some of the parts of the game look really fun to me. Like the skate stuff looks really cool. Hopefully not throwing too much at it, if you know what I mean, because that could slightly backfire. But it does seem like it's looking pretty well made, and I think it will definitely go down well with you know, good audience, basically, for the right audience. Meisuko saying Thirsty Suitors is interesting. I do hope it will hit the mark. Yes, definitely, my friend. And Thimba saying this game has cooking and fighting, big win for me, and skating as well. It's like I say, it's just got so much going on in it. But yeah, that's awesome to hear, Thimba. I hope you enjoy it. And Joe in the house, Flame in the house. How you doing, buddy? Saying, hey everyone, just dropping by to say hi. Hope everyone's having a great weekend. Hope you are too, my friend. Thank you so much for coming by. I really appreciate it. And if you are watching, by the way, guys, feel free to hit that like button. We'd certainly appreciate that. It helps with the old algorithm stuff. You know how it can be. So we'd really appreciate your support. Thank you very much for being here. So yeah, next up then, guys, game was Storyteller. So Storyteller. Now this... was this the one? Oh my god, I'm kind of not sure again. Platform update. So this is the game. I think I've seen this one before. I'm going to need a jar of the memory, I think.
I think it was last year as well, Indy. Yeah, it's already out, isn't it? This was the Netflix announcement. If I remember
was it? Yeah, I remember Rock Paper Shotgun, I think, talking about this or someone and saying it was really good. I think it's the one that I was thinking of. It's kind of like you can make your own story basically with different interactions that you put on, and it takes the story in different directions, if I'm not mistaken. Do you guys have any more insight into this one, or are you up for it? Are you looking forward to it or anything? Have we checked out already? That's a no,
Luke,
maybe.
Yourself. It's not one I've played. I do remember seeing it last year. Like I say, Indy. It's got an interesting art style, at least.
Yeah.
I guess the concept seems interesting, but just not one I've had an opportunity to check out just yet.
Yeah, no worries at all. Like I say, I'm pretty sure this was one that Rock Paper Shotgun talks about. And yeah, interesting sort of branching narrative where you can put different interactions which take the story in a different direction, and I think it sounds pretty interesting. So yeah, probably kind of a good makes sort of sense for a Netflix kind of game. Interesting to see more games going to Netflix, similar to like As Dusk Falls and all that sort of thing. That was on Netflix as well, wasn't it, if I'm not mistaken? Yep, that's right. Cool. Yeah, excellent stuff. So the last one was probably quite a big one for you two chaps. One that you probably were surprised by. And it's another Netflix one, isn't it? And that was the Blade Runner game. Didn't see that one coming, maybe?
This is the one that Scott's. I don't know how, but he's going to disappoint me on it.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
I'll just get it on the way. I'll rip the band out. I don't think it's too bad. It's just I've never seen Blade Runner. So
for God's sake. Well, that's not that bad.
Oh, really?
Like, I've seen it and like I hate it. And,
no, it's just I've not seen it, right? So
okay,
for me, and this is a massive tangent, I appreciate, but like I'm not really a big movie guy, so I've got massive, massive gaps in my sort of knowledge of movies, particularly older movies from a little bit before our time. Because obviously Blade Runner's 80s, isn't it? Like early 80s as well.
Yeah.
The
And
original. Yeah.
yes, and so I've not seen it. Like I always get the piss taken at me because I've never seen like The Godfather and and movies like that. So I've just I know people are excited for it, but because I've not seen it, I've got nothing to get excited about. That's all. So I don't think it's too
No,
bad.
that's not too
I know
bad.
you're really excited, so I'll let you take over. But yeah, it's just one of those movies that I've not seen, and I always get met with like such confusion when I tell people I've not seen movie X or movie Y because it's a so-called classic.
Dragon Wolf is not happy with you, Scott.
Oh, is he? Oh, man. I'm sorry. Yeah. I mean, Thimba doesn't even know what Blade Runner is. So
okay, fair enough.
I had at least heard of it.
Maybe he's talking to Thimba, actually.
Dragon Wolf's message was before Thimba, so it was definitely directed at me. So
okay.
My apologies, Dragon Wolf. Maybe I'll watch it. You know.
Yeah, it's one of those things though when it's like
pet punishment or something.
Yeah, it's like he's kind of missed the boat, and then it's like it's sort of like trying to jump on it late, isn't it? It's quite sometimes tricky, if you know what I mean, because you feel like it's already gone.
Yeah. Was there a new one with
Yeah, with Ryan Gosling. There's a new one called, which was a sequel to the original, called Blade Runner 2049.
I really hate Ryan Gosling.
He's very good in this film.
Is he? I hate him.
He's very good. The whole film is very. In fact, I think the funny thing is that whilst the original, obviously with Harrison Ford, is an absolutely incredible film. The sequels, some 40 years later ish, is an example of kind of a sequel that arguably is as good as the first one, I'd say. So
yep.
And I think you can watch the sequel without having seen the original. Some bits are self-referential to the original, without going into too much detail. But yeah, if you were going to only watch one, then you could just watch the sequel, I think.
Okay.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, I was super excited. Him
just
vampires. No, that's Blade. That's Blade. As in the Marvel comics, the original Wesley Snipes film.
Good movie. Good movie.
Great movie.
Scott's seen that.
Yeah, he's seen Blade. I mean, I don't. Seen Blade Runner. Yeah, no. Also, good movie. We need more Blade related games, by the way, just as a tangent.
Nice, yeah.
That'd be cool. So yeah, I was super hyped for this because I'm a massive Blade Runner fan. And I just thought that multiple things were surprising about this. One is that this is an Annapurna in-house developed game. It's their first game they're developing in-house, so they've built a team just to do this, which is great.
Yeah.
Two is that it's Annapurna, so clearly they're going, this is going to be a single-player driven game,
definitely,
which is amazing.
And it's also going to be cinematic focused, isn't it? Obviously, it's going to be with Blade Runner, but they're actually a film studio before anything, aren't they? Annapurna.
Yeah. So
lends itself well.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's 2. 3 is obviously it's a Blade Runner game, so it's a pretty gigantic license to get for Annapurna. And this to me, like, I mean, if the trailer, a lot of this trailer looked like it was perhaps in engine. Right, maybe not gameplay, but I think this was going for what the look of the game will be. I think this is almost Annapurna jumping maybe beyond indies, just in terms of in-house. It's kind of that like halfway house of like this kind of creative sensibility, obviously with its license, but trying to push it in terms of a kind of high visual quality and a high, obviously very stylized as well. We don't know what the game's about or anything like that, other than it's obviously going to be a single-player game. I assume probably some kind of adventure game, or maybe with some action. I mean, that kind of fits the Blade Runner universe. Maybe part mystery, that again fits it. So, yeah, I was just super excited by this. Like, I would everything about this kind of made me excited.
It looks awesome.
So, yeah, it's set between the original film and the sequel, effectively, which obviously you can see by the date.
Yeah.
So yeah, just looks awesome. No release date, not even consoles announced, other than it's coming to them on PC. And I'm just I wish listed it almost immediately.
Yeah.
Afterwards. So
that's awesome. Yes, great. Aesthetic, it looks fantastic in the trailer. Definitely. I mean, obviously, I will take, with regards to the indie comment, I can't resist but respond to that one. I do feel like, even if they are going to they self-create it themselves and then self-publish it, then might still hold that indie, and depending on the team size and stuff. And also the other thing is everything's Unreal Engine 5, and it's so advanced now, so they're probably getting a lot more yield out of the technology than they used to be. So, but that will be remain to be seen what they decide to do. If they've, obviously the money that they put into it doesn't even matter if it's a great game. But like, I just still think like that they might want to retain from what they had before. But that's nothing we know about at the moment, in a sense. But yeah, it just looks phenomenal, and it's great to see them sort of expanding.
Yeah, and I think I mean, it's still gonna be. I mean, Annapurna is still an indie publisher and stuff, but I think we're into sort of uncharted territory where a publisher is actually starting to develop their own game, and where does that sit in their portfolio, and what does it mean? What does it look like? What kind of budget? What kind of we don't know any of the details about how big the studio is that they've created. I'm sure it's not going to be a huge studio. I don't think they're going to get 250 people in and start giving them ridiculous amounts of money, because that's not Annapurna's business model.
Yeah, they'll be self-publishing, won't they, and stuff, because obviously that's what they do, basically. That's their comfort zone, isn't it, anyway? So that's the great thing. They've already set that part of it out for long ago. So it's just the development part that's new.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I think as well, just because she's on screen at the minute, one of the exciting things is this is Chelsea Hash, and she's a game director on this.
Right.
But she was a game director on Solar Ash, for example.
Cool. That's
and
nice.
she worked on I think she was some lead technical role for What Remains of Edith Finch as well.
Oh yeah, I remember that being mentioned actually.
She's got a really good CV, in terms of past development experience, a really high quality AAA game, high quality high quality indie games. So
can't get enough of those AAAs, those kebabs.
Those kebabs need them. So I think that's really promising for this game. And Annapurna are doing some weird stuff at the minute, right? It's because they're doing this. They're doing the Silent Hill game with no code, they're kind of using these licenses that I don't think people expected Annapurna to go into. You know what I mean? Like, nobody's really expected them to pick up these things. So I think that's awesome, because they're such a creative, house of people. Like, to be able to apply this to some of these projects is really cool. So.
Most definitely, yeah, well said. Cool, great stuff. Well, this has been awesome, and we've definitely gone a little bit over the original, but we did have our man Luke join us, so we're going to blame him for that. That's good, but it was, well worth the extra time, in my opinion, to have you here, brother. And so thank you so much, everyone who has joined us for this wrap up of the Annapurna Showcase. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope it's helped you kind of redigest if you've watched it before, but also see for the first time maybe some of you guys who didn't check out the show, and it's allowed you to check out some games from the show. Like I say, if you missed it, definitely a great show as a whole for me. Any final thoughts just quickly on the what you thought of the show, guys? Any just wrap up synopsis of what you thought of it, Luke, my friend, at the end of...
Yeah, I mean, for me, I thought it was one of the best shows of the showcase period, right? If we count it within that, which I think we will.
Yes.
But just top to bottom, I thought it would still do great stuff, and great announcements. And obviously, the final one was just one that blew me away. I just didn't expect it, and I think that's always part of the fun of these shows, right? I'd honestly put this one kind of up there with, the Xbox show as being like the best one of the period. I just think it was great. So
Definitely.
Yeah, really good show.
Fantastic. Yeah, nice little way to end off the old showcase season at the end there. And that's a great show. I totally agree. It's a fantastic one. I hope we see another Thunderful show at some point, because they did one a while back, didn't they? Remember it was with oh my god, Han Solo. Jesus. Oh, my brain's gone. Star Wars.
I know who you mean. Was that Thunderful show? Was it?
Thunder.
Yeah.
Mark Hamill, thank you very much. My lord, this has been a long weekend. Yeah, Mark Hamill hosted it, didn't he?
Han Solo, gosh, for God's sake, you people need to watch more films.
Yeah, Star Wars is not my thing, my friend. This guy's just going to lay that down. But yeah, no, it'll be good to see Thunderful return. That's for sure. Yeah, if I watch more films, I wouldn't play as many games, I'm afraid. That's the amount of time I've got.
Just do both.
No, it's not happening. But yes, another one from them would be lovely, and another, more showcases from these sort of publishers would be awesome. But yeah, thank you very much for joining us, Luke, on the surprise entry at the end. And Scott, my friend, thank you very much for joining us as well. It's been awesome hanging out with you this weekend. We've got a video in the works as well. But yeah, cheers for joining us for this one, my friend. Did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, loved it as always, mate. Thank you very much. Keep an eye on hopefully a few other things hitting the channel in the not too distant future.
Definitely, buddy. Feel free to look up these guys via the links which are at the bottom of the screen, but also some actual links in the description below. Check them out on Twitter and give them a follow over there, guys. But thank you so much to everyone who's joined us in the chat. If you're checking out this show after as well, definitely feel free to drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you in the comment section about what you thought of the show, any games that were highlights. But quickly shout out some of you guys in the chat. We got Dragon Wolf joining us, Meisuko, Stubbs Gaming, Thimba. Who else did we have? I missed someone. Joe Flame, Paul S in the house, and anyone else, Mad Belmont, anyone else who's joined us, thank you very much for being here, guys. You're legends. We greatly appreciate it. Feel free to drop on and check out any of the other content I put up recently. There's some other stuff knocking about, a video uploaded last week with top 15 indie games of the showcase season, in case you needed a recap on that. But otherwise, guys, thank you once again for watching, and we'll catch you again with another Indie Games podcast or video sometime again real soon. Thanks again for watching, guys.